Hey guys, I just want to do a small video upon Fen and the new two units that will be coming out today. Or later, tomorrow, correction, well, I'll just leave that details ahead of itself. Alright, so I've been wanting and been waiting for this unit for a long time. Why? Because Fen has been one of my favorite units so far in game, and he has become a lot more handy than most units. Fen will be one of your top #1 units on the list of to get. Why? Not just because of his art, his skill. Actually, to be honest, it is because of his art and skill. As you can see here, even during his, I believe in Japan, his true awakening, when he achieves a true awakening, he will become a lot more powerful than Zen. Oh, sorry, not Zen. I forgot his name. Started with Z, but we all know he increases our gauge by 1. Versus Fen, who increases our gauge by a lot more than that. I believe it is. I will have to check Japan for these details, but I do not have a Fen True Awakening in Japan, so abide by me a little bit here when I say this. Fen is so far a unit I've been waiting for, and he will be my #1 unit. I will be trying to get this entire year when he goes out there. From there, I'm actually so excited to get these abilities. First of all, not many units have an evasion ability, so I'm actually quite glad I can actually take advantage of this. Put him with Toto and bring in I think the cape from Zorg's. I forgot. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Zurg. Yeah, Zurg's cape, which adds evasion to your team. That will come in a lot of handy, especially when you're fighting that mecha boss, because if you activate Toto's along with him, along with the cape, you will achieve an evasion rate high enough to avoid all or most damage. Alright, so now down to the second. Well, a little more in detail, I would love to mention that his skill actually just from reading it, his skill is so beautiful. It's just beautiful in my view. Heals 2.5% of HP of the ally with the lowest HP. Like, really? Do you know, I did not know he actually had that ability until I found out just now. I seriously have to admit, I do not read Japanese, so I did not know this is what he did. But that is insanely useful, especially if you keep casting and spamming his skill. Mind you, his gear set is perfect for this skill. So spamming the skill actually kind of helps you out and saves your team a lot of healing. And the fact that he also increases his own damage damage to all enemies increased by 20% when HP. So it means he basically adds more damage to your team when the enemy hits under 50%. That is not something you'll find every day. That's pretty nice. Gotta admit it. Got to admit that. So try to get Fen, guys. I'm going to really admit it. Rem here, I would also admit to you guys should get her. Especially since we will not be getting a lot of those elemental damage reducers. Rem brings out the most DPS when it comes down to debuffing elements. So She basically, as I'm saying, increases damage. See right here, her art is what I'm trying to refer to. Damage towards enemies' weakness increases 30% for 15 seconds. And also reduces enemy attack and defense by 20%. That is nice. I gotta say, that is pretty nice. And especially since her skill actually increases her BE, so you can keep spamming that. That comes in handy too. But this one is what confused me the most. Astrology. Damage and resistance towards enemies with daily element increases 5 to 25%. Only once. Weekends are random. So that means if the gates is water, we have a 5% to 25% chance of having elemental resistance to water. If the element is random, or we hit the weekend, it will hit a random element with a buff. Like, you can get a random element from the buffs. That's pretty interesting. I do like her second ability here as well. Alchemy. Heals all allies by HP by 70 when using equipment. So she increases, basically she heals her team by 70 points each time her equipment goes off. That's pretty decent. Gotta give it to her. She got that little decent set right there with that ability. But it's not so handy. Increases all allies' magic damage by 10%. Not so great. But that's decent because there's not a lot of units that do that. Honestly, you probably get only one piece of equipment. We have one piece of equipment so far that increases magic damage, which doesn't really help by much. And this is the one important unit I wanted to get to, guys. I've actually talked about him before. Grand Brave. Grand Brave, well, I thought that's what he was, Cylon's father. He is not Cylon's father, but rather his master. Cylon Brave is pretty interesting, and you could only achieve him during this summon from the 50 crystals. No, you would not achieve him. You cannot obtain him later in game from crystals. No, you cannot. He will be only up in after this event is over. After this fest is over, he will no longer be able to obtain from the summon of crystals. He will only be obtained from alchemy stones. So make sure you guys get him, because he's pretty handy here and there. Being the fact that he has all these abilities here. Mind you, I'm not into the critical rate of enemy burning kind of abilities, but the fact that he increases all status for Blade Masters and the art damage comes in handy. Gotta admit it, you won't find people who do that. Especially if you put him with Mako, who already increases it by 50 if you use her art. Because it increases it by 15% permanently, making that a total of 65%. So you get a lot more damage with him around. And the fact that his art actually comes in handy, especially when he's trying to burn enemies. That actually comes in handy, especially for the floors. If you guys do not have Paula, I would suggest trying to get Gron here, just for the burn effect, so that you can get past the skeletons, which kind of, I have to admit, are annoying. Between almost enemies, the skeletons are the most annoying in that 14th floor. 14th floor, if you guys ever got to it, there is enemies at the first wave that it's impossible to get past without status ailments. I worked with Paula trying to poison them, which pretty much worked because Paula has a high chance to poison enemies, and it made it so much simpler. And since poison eats enemies real fast, it makes it a lot easier than most burn or most status ailments. But yeah, so Grand Brave will be useful. I do love his break though, most of all. Look at that, 3,500. That is, I think that is actually the highest in game right now. So try working on getting him, because he will be only be able to be obtained from alchemy stones in the future. And that's no, there's one more thing that I want to get down to. It is also that in Japan they're already having this, and I believe many of you have seen it so far. They're having a collab with One Punch Man. I'm a little bit shocked, surprised, and going crazy. We're gonna have Saitama in our battles? Are we gonna just one punch our opponents? Is this our true art? Maybe this is a art be for real punch? I gotta admit, this is pretty astonishing or pretty funny at the same time. I'm looking forward to getting Genos in the future, if possible. Genos has been my favorite so far in the anime, even though Saitama is like the most overpowered hero in the entire show. I'm totally not interested in. I forgot what the girl's name. She uses psychic powers and everything. Totally not interested in her. But yes, Japan is actually having the Japan version of Grand Summer is having a collaboration with the makers of One Punch Man. That's pretty cool. I gotta admit, there are things that we would not have taken into account for that Good Smile has been working towards. They have already achieved they have achieved a whole new level of collaboration. Like Godzilla, which is another one you wouldn't expect to actually see as a collaboration event. That was pretty cool of them. I gotta admit, that was pretty cool of Good Smile to actually have that event. And I believe that's pretty much all there is. They're so far working with TV shows and the most famous shows that are out there right now. I do enjoy that. It's been a long run throughout the game, and I'm so far excited. So I hope you guys continue to enjoy the game and have fun. I'm hoping you guys just keep working on your accounts out there. And to those re-rollers out there, good luck on re-rolling. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys try to get One Punch Man from the collaboration in the future. Though I do hope you guys aren't gonna re-roll if you get a good team going, because I gotta admit, if any of you got Mako from Mako Satsuki or Matoi, I believe Mako. Oh, Matoi. What am I saying? Mako. Matoi. If any of these got those three, I would not suggest even resending the account, because those three are just so. I gotta admit, Mako is just handy, all around handy. Matoi is just one huge nuker. That's also pretty handy. And Satsuki is pretty much a status element freezer, so freeze elements just all out there. That's pretty useful in my book. So enjoy the game, guys. Have fun. And work hard. Do your best.